Hello everyone, it's Tracy, and I did get a request to do a walkthrough of the Tarot Everywhere. If you watch my channel, you'll know that I featured this deck as one of my personality decks, trying to see the divine in the mundane. And I did get a request to do a little show and tell, and I did do a little research as well. I couldn't remember where you could get it, but you can get it from Printer Studio. Here's my iPad with it on there. And this is Over the Moon Oracle Cards. This is the shop on Printer Studio that makes them. And she makes lots of cool decks through Printer Studio, including one of Amber and Wonderland's favorites, the Pep Talk deck. So it's really worth giving her little shop a look at. Looky see. But we will walk through now. I do not have any of our other decks, but this is the Tarot Everywhere. It is a photography deck, and it is in the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition. So here we have the Fool. It's somebody jumping from a cliff. The Magician, which is like a business magician. We've got a computer and an iPhone and such as that. And the High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor, which reminds me a bit of the Emperor from the Sassy Burrito, Sassarabito, except this is a photograph. And I really like the Hierophant. You have someone who's studying what appears to be the Bible. It could be any other religious text, but I like that. Lovers. Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. The Justice card is really interesting with this Buddha in the leaves, this little Buddha statue. And to me, that speaks of the kindness of justice, and the detachment of justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. Devil. The Tower. Yeah, and that is my tower. The Star. Moon. The Sun. This Judgment is very interesting too. It reminds me of a bit of a Southern baptism, because he's clothed and he's in the water, but there's nobody else there. So he's definitely washing away his own past. It's not being done for him or being forced upon him. And the World, yeah, that's a basketball hoop with a basketball coming in it. I'm not a big fan of basketball, so that one doesn't work as well for me as some of the other cards do. And the Ace of Wands, we have a Sparkler. Two of Wands. We are packed and ready to go, just waiting on the bus. Three of Wands. Four of Wands. It's a really interesting image. The Five of Wands, which speaks to me more of healthy competition than conflict that's not healthy. So it's sort of like a healthy competition conflict kind of thing. And then the Six of Wands, we've got the pride flag. I love that. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. And the Ten of Wands. I really like the court cards in this deck. They're really help you understand the personality of that particular court card. So we've got the Page of Wands in her pink cowboy boots. Love it. Knight of Wands. He's standing almost on that horse. The Queen of Wands, I'm not quite sure I get with the bubbles. I would have liked to seen something a little bit more creative. And then the King of Wands. We have another suit with no head. Ace of Cups, Multnomah Falls. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. I love this Four of Cups. It's like, ugh, it's raining. I can't go outside. Six of Cups. Seven. The Eight, which is almost a recreation of the Rider-Waite one. But I love those footprints. They're great. Nine of Cups. Great place to be. Ten of Cups. She's sitting by the water. But she has on cowboy boots. You can't just jump in the water with cowboy boots on. Knight of Cups. Queen. And the King of Cups. That's kind of cool. It's like they're the bride's over here and the groom's over here. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. This Three of Swords, I'm not quite sure about that either. You've got three forks. Yeah, not quite sure about that one. Four of Swords, though, taking respite in a church. Don't like guns, but at least there's nobody holding that one. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords, masking, sort of hiding your identity. Eight of Swords, just some barbed wire. Nine of Swords, that sort of feeling of despair. And then Ten of Swords, interestingly, not quite sure where he is. You'd think he'd be in it kind of looks like a sewer, but it's not wet, so I don't know quite where he is or where he's going. And we have the Page of Swords. Yep. Yeah, whatever. The Knight of Swords, fabulous. I will do my own thing, and you will not tell me what to do. Queen of Swords, with her book and her gloves. And the King of Swords. Really contemplating what he's done with his life. Now the Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. The Two, where you have a fallow field and a seeded field. The Three, definitely architecture type work. The Four of Pentacles, I love this. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I'm not thinking that's a bad thing. That's a whole wonderful place full of books. Five of Pentacles. this guy's actually taking some action to get out of the situation that he's in, but that's kind of interesting. 6, 7. That fruit's not quite ready to be picked yet, but you can see it's getting there. 8. Love this 9 of Pentacles. What a beauty. And then there's our ripe fruit and the 10 of Pentacles. Page. We've got a lot of feet in this deck. The Knight of Pentacles. Lovely Queen of Pentacles. And the very hard-working King of Pentacles. You can see this deck pretty much sticks to the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition. It's generally conveying those meanings. There are a few cards that I just don't quite get, but they make sometimes make a little more sense when you're doing them in a spread with other cards. But things like that 3 of Swords, I'm just not sure I get what they were trying to say with that particular image. It is definitely playing card stock and playing card size. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a sort of a linen finish on it, and I believe on the website it tells you the card stock that was used. Not that I know a lot about card stock, but it is 310 GSM linen. So it's very nice card stock. I brought out a couple of decks to compare it to. I've got a deck of playing cards. So here is a deck of bicycle playing cards that I would say is pretty much exactly the same card stock as this deck right here. This might be a little bit sturdier. This might be a little bit thinner. And you can see it is pretty much the same size as the deck of playing cards. Looks like my deck of playing cards is a teeny bit wider. And then this deck that I just got today is my Seeds of Shakti. Very, very similar cardstock, except for this is linen and this is not linen. And they are, the Seeds of Shakti is just a scotch bigger. So this is a tiny bit smaller than poker playing card size. Bridge card size, the cards are a little bit narrower because you have to hold so many cards when you play bridge that it makes it a little easier to hold them. So let's give them a shuffle. You can see how they shuffle. They shuffle very nicely. Like I said, I've had this deck for, I don't know, probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I don't pull it out as often as I think I need to. I used it for quite a while early on. I used it almost constantly. And then put it away, and it hasn't been out much since then. But you can see it's just super to shuffle, just super. And let's have a card. The Hanged Man. Let's all have a little chill, get a new perspective, look at things a little bit differently. Maybe not rush into things as much. Which kind of goes really nicely with this piece of petrified wood. When I bought my Seeds of Shakti, that it just came today, Sharon on her website also sells a lot of crystals. And it didn't cost any extra to have the piece of petrified wood shipped with it. And it is just gorgeous piece of petrified wood. I just couldn't leave it there. I have a couple of other pieces of petrified wood, but they look more like stones. This one looks a little more like wood. It's just beautiful. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely and wonderful day.